Well, we haven't had a tool time Tuesday or Thursday here in a long time. So what I want to do, I want to show you something that was sent to me. And nobody else has seen this yet. It is brand spanking new. Matter of fact, I haven't even seen it. We're going to open it up here and see what we've got. Well, inside here is another box. All right, so inside that box is another box. We're going to open this up together. Now this is a welder from BestArc. It's a brand new welder. If you guys have never welded before, this is a perfect welder for that. We're going to see exactly what we're getting, how much it costs. We're even going to try to use it. I can already tell you that it's packaged real well. It's small, and I think it's going to be awesome. I do believe my wife's purse is bigger than this. So what we have here is their brand spanking new BestArc mini MiG welder. Now this is the MiG 145. I'll give you some more details about it here shortly. Let me see if we can't spin this thing around and get this other box out of the way. You know I'm about your clumsiest host when it comes to this kind of stuff, but you get what you get, right? Now they did send me this, and I'm going to try to give you my honest opinion on it. We've got gas cables. We've got 220 to 110, so it does both. Ground strap and a stick handle strap. Put around it and carry it wherever you want to go. Comes with some wire. Most importantly, instructions, extra tips, and thread tape, and some more wire. So it looks like, as long as this is flux core wire, it looks like all you need is to put it together and plug it in. You can run gas with it, but I'm thinking that you can also do flux core wire. We're gonna check it out and see. But it's actually a MiG Tig Stick machine. It's what it calls itself. I don't see any TIG torches, but it does say right here on the instructions, MiG Tig Stick. All right, let me get this thing put together real quick, ground straps and stuff, and then we're gonna plug it in and see if we can get it to work. All right, so if you don't mind reading, it's all pretty simple to hook up. So it is a TIG, MiG, and stick. It does gas welding and it does the flux wire. Now I haven't used flux wire in probably 25 years on my first MiG welder, and I don't remember. I remember it being a lot of popping and stuff. So I got the wire in. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it loose and start feeding it through. And I'm just reading instructions, which I hate doing. But now the different ways these things right here will plug in, twist and plug in and lock. It tells you in the instructions, you take the ground cable and move it from negative to positive, where if you're going to use stick, you would swap it, put the stick, well, you have to read the instructions, but each way you decide to use this, it's different. Ground over here for TIG, TIG goes in the negative, and so on. Just read the instructions if you happen to get one of these. Now, everything seems to be pretty straightforward. Everything looks simple, clean, very very nice. I'm not sure what the retail would be on this, but they're coming out like next week. So it's cheap. I mean, it's really, really inexpensive. So it's packaged real well. I mean, I can't find anything wrong with it yet. If it works, it's going to be great. So let's go ahead and cut this loose, feed this through, and see if we can't make some sparks. All right, so I've got this cut now. Just feeding it through the self-feeder. Making a few adjustments. And that's your tension gauge right there. I'm not sure where that's supposed to be set yet, but we're going to see if we can't get this stuff to feed through. It also came with a different wheel that goes in here for different size wire. So we're going to pretend like it's already set up for this wire. Now, with it being electric, being a brand new tool, I trust BestArc products, and I've got their plasma cutter, which I'll show you here shortly. But with anything, we're going to be smart. We're going to take this thing outside and test it on the driveway, not next to sweet potato, which is about 3 feet away. We don't want any sparks to fly on that. So let's get set back up, take it all outside, and see what we can do. All right, so here is the MiG 145 from BestArc. Now it's sitting on top of my Miller 212. Now it's hard to believe that there's this much difference between these two welders. I'm not going to compare this welder to any kind of a Miller product. Miller has been my favorite welder forever. This welder right here is for the DIY guy, the guy that doesn't want to spend $2,500 on a welder, the guy that wants to repair his wheelbarrow, his lawnmower, his mailbox. That's what this welder is for. There's no limitations of what you can do with this. Now, I'm not going to teach you how to weld or show you any welding tips. We're just checking this We're just checking this MiG 145 out just to see what it's all about and what you'll get for your money. Let's get this thing turned on. Now I've got it all put together. I've got some wire in it. We're going to hit the on switch for the very first time. And something's happening. The little LCD display's lining up. And let me get the torch and see if we can't get some stuff to feed through here. All right, so like I've said before, I'm not a very good teacher, but I do have this thing set up. I'm not sure where my wire speed is at or where my amperage is at, but we're set up on MiG, and we're going to give this thing a whirl. Now, I do have it plugged into 220 right now. It does have 110 capabilities, and it does take the small spools. I'm not sure what size these spools are, but I've got some of those small spools in stainless and flux and standard wire. I didn't check to see what tip is on the gun, but I have ran it through and fed it all the way through the gun. So it's time now to get some metal and see what we can do. Now there's not a day that goes by that I don't use something from BestArc abrasives. Disc, cut-off wheels, every type of sandpaper you could think of, cleaning products, face mask, wire brushes, you name it. BestArc's got it. Even safety protection gear. You need to head over to benchmarkabrasives.com and check out what they got. If you're watching this video right now and you've made it this far, comment below or tell me a little bit about this video or about BestArc. Hey, your name goes in the hat and you could be one of the lucky few people that are getting t-shirts just like these that I'm fixing to mail out. If you want a chance to win, don't forget to comment. Now back to the video. Now it does come with a pretty short cord. I'm going to say this cord is probably about 6 feet, as well as the ground lead is about the same thing. All right, so we're still hooked up I'm outside, everything's kind of rusty, but we're gonna try it anyway. A thin piece of sheet metal. Let me get my hood on. All right, it's not the prettiest welds I've ever done, but I get used to it. I need to adjust the wire speed a little bit because I think it's going too fast now. It was going too slow. Let's put in some thicker stuff and crank up the amperage. I tell you what, that's not too bad, guys. That's wide open right there. Some heavy-duty stuff, and you can see a dark spot on the back where it's penetrating through that 1/4-inch plate. So I believe that's pretty good. Now this is something thinner that most of you guys would probably be doing. It definitely takes some getting used to. That's set up right there on the lowest amperage, which is 50 amps. It burned all the way through, of course, when I stitch welded it, but then when I continuously welded, it was just blowing holes in there. If you're going to replace body panels in a car and you're just stitch welding it like that, it's burning through really good. And this is all very small scale compared to what I'm used to. But if my friend called me and he had an issue with something with his gate, his fence around his pool, I would throw this over my shoulder, head out there, and probably be able to weld it with an extension cord. Now I know I'm wearing a Miller jacket, and this BestArc welder is on top of my Miller welder, but don't get me wrong. Look at this thing. This little small box has a big punch to it. I think there's room in everybody's garage for a low buck welder. Now I'm not really sure what this thing's coming out at. I bet you it's pretty cheap. I mean pocket change compared to this monster that it's sitting on top of. This thing right here will get you out of a jam. This particular welder right here is great for a DIY guy that's just now learning. This thing right here is a MiG 145 from BestArc. Spanky gives it a thumbs up. Now this was given to me to test, which I did right here with you guys. Now I would give you my honest opinion on this. Setup was pretty easy. Feeding the MIG wire into the sleeve for the very first time was a little touchier that I was doing it right, but hey, it finally went in, and from now on I know exactly how to do it. Setup was pretty easy. The cables on the front, if you were going to run flux wire, you would swap the cables around. If you're going to run gas, you would swap the cables around. If you're going to run stick, you would swap these cables around. And if you're going to TIG with it, you would swap these cables around. Now, the front of the box and the instructions said MiG, TIG, and stick. This did not come with the TIG cable. I'm going to ask BestArc about that, whether it was just not in the box or if it was an accessory that you would add on. Now, BestArc also makes a plasma cutter that we bought off of Amazon not too long ago. You've seen me use it in a couple of videos, and we're going to put another video out with the plasma cutter on it by itself and show you what we're doing with that. I like it a lot. So stay tuned for that video. It's coming up next. BestArc MiG 145. 3 thumbs up from Spanky's. That's pretty good. This thing's coming in around 13 inches long and about 5.5 inches wide and about 10 inches tall. That is about the size of a big car battery. This thing is freaking awesome. Go get you one. You can bet your last dollar that if somebody calls me and they're gonna give me a welder and all I have to do is plug it in, test it, and give my honest opinion, I'm gonna take them up on that offer. And I'm glad I did. This little bitty box right here is a good welder. Now it is what it is. It's a small welder. It goes up to 145 amps and it's for small projects. I'm not really sure what the duty cycle is. I did not dig down into all those instructions. I did what you guys would do. I opened the box and started plugging stuff in until I got it to work. And it wasn't that hard. No, I did look at the instructions because this is a little complicated because for each setup, it requires you to move the lug cable around from positive to negative. It does TIG, it does stick, and it does MiG. However, the TIG attachments did not come with the welder. They weren't in the instruction layout and they weren't in the parts area. It is an option. This welder is brand spanking new. It's a MiG 145 9th generation. It's about to come out within the next week, so be looking for it. It'll be all over Amazon, all over the internet, probably all over eBay. If you're looking for a cheap welder, I think it's better than the best bang for your buck. The plasma cutter is awesome. It is awesome. I've had big plasma cutters, small plasma cutters, but that's in a video all by itself. However, I bought the plasma cutter because I needed one. BestArc's got a great name behind them, and I felt like it was going to be a great investment for Spanky's. Wait till you see these things in action. I'm fixing to completely box in the 1936 Pontiac chassis. We're going to try to build the whole chassis using the plasma cutter and this welder right here. I'm not going to guarantee it because this thing's duty cycle may be a little slower than Spanky likes to work. And I do like the fact that it does have a small gun on it to where it does get up into some of the smaller areas where my Miller might not get up into. But hey, I didn't throw the towel in on the Miller. That's a great welder too. So if you wanted to spend some big bucks. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you got something out of this video and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Just get out in the garage and go build something. See you guys in the next episode, and don't forget to thank our sponsors. We support the people that support us. Thanks a lot. Don't forget, leave us a comment. Name goes in the hat for a free t-shirt.